lighting's horrible. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm here with my client, Brandon. Brandon's getting ready for a show. He needs to learn how to train his back. We're gonna hit back because he got little baby legs. Wait, he has little baby wings. All right, let's go. Oh God, it was on 90 for you. So we're starting on a pull down, but we're using neutral grip. I like using these prime handles because it puts the back of your hand in line with your forearm, which makes it easier to pull in a straight line. And I like neutral grip. It's just easier, more effective. There you go. Remember, traps down, scapula down first. Engage here first. There you go. Good. That's better. That's better. Stay on it. Good. Pull with this. Not your hands. There it is.
So, am I not engaging it when my chest goes?
So usually when people's chest goes down, they're crunching to move the weight. They're not actually driving their elbows down, right? When you're thinking about contracting a muscle, you have to get the two ends close together. That's contracting. So like the origin and the insertion, right? But if you're moving one end, so like even if you're moving this end, if this end's moving too, then it's not getting any closer, right? So if you're trying to get this lat shortened here, like this, but you're actually bending your back, you're stretching it out, so it's not actually, you're not getting as much. So you want to keep your body entirely still other than whatever's required for you to contract that muscle. Knowledge, big brain activities. People think bodybuilders are dumb. They are, but not me. Damn it.
You tell me what happened?
Oh yeah, so one of the most unfortunate things happened. I got here and I was like, dude, it smells weird, right? And then I finally grabbed my own shirt. I smelled it. My dog peed on it, which is awesome.
He's blaming his dog, it was him.
Yeah, I definitely peed on my shoulder. Probably when I was having a seizure as an old man. Tuck those elbows in front of you. There you go. There, shoulders down first, engage the lats, and then drive. There you go. Damn, you look small in this video. I'm just kidding.
No pump, flat as a pancake, because I'm on prep.
Shut up, you're small. So we're doing this neutral grip pull down with the prime grips, the paddles. We just did 2 working sets. Now I'm gonna do a back off set. Brandon has been stuck on he's been doing 30 pounds this whole time, which sucks, but you gotta start somewhere. I mean, I remember when I first started, I was a lot stronger than that, but I remember when I first started. Did 2 working sets. First one was 12 reps. Second one, I died out at like 9 reps, same weight. So this is a back off set. Did 15 reps at like 75, 80% of the working set. One thing that people don't really realize is that when you're trying to train, you're trying to use whatever muscle you're trying to train, and predominantly that muscle. But what your body wants to do, it wants to do whatever it can and make it as easy as possible to do the movement that you're doing, which means recruiting other muscles. So like on a bench press, you want to use your chest. When you get tired, your body's going to want to use your front delt and your tricep. So it's your job to stay locked into the position that puts you in the best position to utilize only the muscle that you're trying to train. You have to get very clear on the form that you're using, because you have to know, where do I position my body and where do I have to keep it in order to continue to engage whatever I'm trying to train. So now we're doing barbell rows, because again, Brandon has a weak back and we got to bring it up. And he's actually all arms, which is a huge mistake that a lot of people make when they're training back. When you're training back, you have to be squeezing your shoulder blades together, because that's how you get it to contract, versus just basically curling it up with your arms. Zoom in, look at my face, look at me in the eye. Stop training like okay? All right, zoom out. So there's 2 different ways that you can do barbell rows. They're gonna target different things. You can do overhand grip, and this is gonna help target your mid-back, rhomboids, your traps a little bit more, and you're gonna want your back closer to parallel to the ground. And so you're gonna be bent over here, and you're gonna want to pull the bar into your hip. So not straight up here, this is gonna get more rear delt. You wanna squeeze your shoulder blades together and pull the bar into your hip. The second way that you can do it, which will bias the lats more, is doing a supinated grip, so underhand, you know, so like this. Right, so for this one, you're still gonna wanna have your, basically you're gonna have the same stance, shoulder width apart on your grip, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your back at about 45 degrees, and you're gonna again pull it into your hip here. You're again going to pull your shoulder blades back together, squeeze them together, and then drive those elbows towards your hip. So this one is more like, you know.
Fantastic.
You know what it's like. That's what they all say. All right. That's how it's done. Do I look like all these kids on TikTok?
No, you need the broccoli hair.
I tried to get it. The guy told me no. But yeah, TikTok guys. But dark lighting, Gold's gym, locker room.
Hey, stop. So that's where I work out, bro.
I just did like 2 sets of 8 at 185. It feels kind of heavy. I don't really know if I could do 2 plates, but I'll stop being a bitch and I'll try for 1 set. That'll be my working set. I tend to use a slightly lower rep range than, like, you know, the 12 to 15 that I just did on that pull down for something that's heavy like this, just because the longer you do something that is way more form based like this, there's more margin for error. If your form breaks down, that's when people tend to get injured. So try and stay away from 15, like 15 and up rep range, and it's just exhausting. It's not as bad as I thought.
Do it again then.
No, I'm good. Good. Oh, okay. Okay. You look like Ezekiel Elliott, but Asian. It's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah, this morning.
Today specifically, it's way better than like a day or two ago.
Yeah, this morning when I was posting, I did fasted cardio.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, let me go practice a little bit. And when I was practicing, I was like, oh, I noticed a lot more.
Yeah, so we have 5 weeks to pull this one off. It's looking pretty good right now. I mean, you lost 2 pounds each of the last 2 weeks. You're getting close. I think you just don't have very thick abs. Like, obviously, you're not beep, that kind of person. But fill in the blank. Comment down below if you know what I mean. But you don't have thick abs, so you're gonna have to get really lean. And it looks like you don't know how to flex them as much.
I never had abs, so why would I know how to flex?
No, but like just to like crunch them down, like to make them pop, like you look like, oh, okay, there you go, better. Like you're doing a sit up. There you go, yeah. You gotta blow out all the air and just go, and then cough. Yeah, that's gonna need some work. Brandon is a lifetime former fat kid.
I still think about cookies and burgers every day.
Yeah, get used to it. That doesn't change. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired. I've only had like...
He said he wants to be on my diet.
Hey man, we just gotta show that support. One love. All right, so I'm doing my back off set now. Basically, I'm gonna do Brandon's baby weight. I'm gonna do it for a lot more reps. I'm gonna look a lot more jacked doing it, obviously. Cue intense music. Just kidding, don't do that. Just light 20. You gotta burn the boats. Who's gonna carry the boats? You are. So next movement, we're doing a single arm cable row. I like this setup where you're down on one knee and you have something to brace with against here. Is that way you can kind of play with where your hips are, you're stabilized, you can bend over a little bit more, pause. But it's all just, when you're doing a movement, especially if you don't know how to train something, you have to adjust something small about every rep to try and feel it a little bit better. You can't keep doing the movement the same way and not feeling it and think that you're gonna feel it. All right, so what you gotta think is, you have to retract this shoulder blade. Like your shoulder blades, you have to squeeze them together. That's how you're gonna start. And then you're gonna drive that elbow back in a straight line and make sure that your shoulder isn't rotating forward. And when you're doing these, it sounds weird, but one, you wanna use a hook grip. So when you put your thumb over the bar, it forces the back of your hand to be in line with your forearm so you can pull in one straight line. It sounds weird, but you wanna try and relax your arm. A lot of people get really tense in their arm and they end up doing a curl to move the weight. You're trying to get your back to squeeze together. Now that we've moved on from the big movement, which was the barbell row, I like doing an isolation movement, and I usually go higher rep range on that one, so we're doing sets of 12 each arm here. Brandon's doing it with no weight here. He's got 10 pounds on the bar. Back's one of those muscles that are hard to connect with because most people have never thought about it. So the training, you're training when you're a bodybuilder, when you're trying to grow muscle, it's all about the mind-muscle connection, right? Can you turn the muscle on and use it for whatever movement you're doing? If you can't turn the muscle on, it's not really getting the bulk of the work. But it's hard because you have to learn how to put your body in position to use that muscle. But if you don't know how, or you've never done it, it's kind of hard. So one of the things that you can do that helps out a lot is what Brandon's doing right now, which is putting your finger there, but putting your hand on the muscle that you're trying to train, just to get a reference. Because if you're getting physical feedback on whether or not it's like getting hard, it will help you mentally, because now you're like, okay, now I know I feel my hand on this muscle. I need to turn this specific muscle on. Yeah, so posing is something that you could do like all the time. And the more that you try and pose, the more that you try and contract muscles and connect with it on the daily basis, it's like you're getting more reps in or more practice trying to turn that muscle on. If you're only trying to do it in the gym, it's not really enough. So like, kind of weird, but when I first started competing, I would walk around and randomly, if I ever saw my reflection, I'd just go, and then I'd just walk away. Right? But it was just getting that practice in, getting those reps in. The more you do it, the more you can adjust all those little things. Like as you're going, you're like, all right, I put my arm down this way and it was easy for me to flare my lats, but I didn't like the way my hips were. So maybe I start by turning my hips a little bit more and then I turn my upper body. Or then maybe you try and go upper body first and then turn your hips. Or you walk into it, or you do the X thing and then you come around. Or you come around and you bring your hand through your hair and then you come around. You could do like so many different things, but if you never practice and you never try all these little things, you're never gonna figure out what helps you get in the pose better or what helps you connect with that muscle better. A lot of times, connecting with that muscle, it comes from just playing around and doing different things. I like using machines a lot to learn how to connect with muscles, just because the machine, you're on a very specific track. So you know that that's kind of the range it needs to go, as long as your limb length is good for it. So it becomes about you learning how to position your body and which angles to push and arm path to take. That will help you, because if it's on a track, it means you can't put the weight out here or here or whatever. It's on one track. You have to adjust your body to get into position, and then you can translate that to free weights. So we're gonna see how Brandon poses. Brandon obviously doesn't know how to pose. He's never done a show before. He's getting a little girly haircut right after this, so he's gonna have some little Asian lady shampoo his balls. Give him a manzillion wax. You look like you're just carrying suitcases.
Yeah, it needs to be more relaxed.
Yeah.
So when it's more relaxed, it just hangs out front like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because then when I look in the mirror, if I don't have it up a little,
yeah,
I feel like it covers my lats.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm
not
sure.
Try, let me see. it's more so again just because your shoulders are rolled forward. So it's like, one, your lats aren't getting flared out because you don't know how to flex them yet, but you're also rolling forward, which is like, if your trap is rolling forward, it's also pulling your lat backward versus where you want it to be is forward. It's a little better, yeah. Oh, look at you with the obliques coming in a little bit. All right. When you're thinking of learning how to pose, you have to break it down into steps. So like, kind of like how we were just talking about, when you're trying to learn how to connect with the muscle, you have to break it down into steps, and however you got to get into it is however you got into it. So it's the same thing with your posing, right? You have to play with it, and whatever helps you open your lats up, it doesn't matter what you have to do now, but it's just practice. So the more that you do it, the easier it gets, and then all of a sudden it becomes much quicker. So you do it so that you can make sure that you can hit it right every time, and then you slowly start taking away steps to get into it faster.
Got it.
Like in the beginning, it might be you doing this, and then like sitting into it. And then by the end, you might just be like, you know, it's like quicker, but you have to build that connection. Turn. Okay, so one big thing is that back foot, you keep putting it like on a line, which is hard for you to
turn, right?
Well, it's like, it's awkward, right? Oh, okay. So you want to think of it like, if I was walking forward and I went like this, right? My feet wouldn't be on a line. You wouldn't be walking tightrope.
Got it.
So you just go here, walk it, turn.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So do you know, like, you can see it in the mirror, right? Like when you're doing this, right? You're going, you're like trying to squeeze your lats. Now you're trying to squeeze your lats. You want to flare them out, right? You want them out.
So that's like, is that what it'd be when it's like flared?
Oh, well, right now you're just rolling your shoulders forward.
Okay, so what is it like?
So you gotta go, it's like going under and then up. So you gotta expand the rib cage. Like breathe into your chest now. There, like that's better. So do that. Hold it, right? Hold it. There. Now, set your feet. That's the type of thing I'm saying, right? Like if you have to do this weird ass thing to feel it, then do that. And then the longer you sit in the pose and you're able to flex those lats, the more you'll be able to do it in the future, right? Squeeze, right? And then you're gonna drop this and you're gonna go lift your chest up here. So like, you're holding all of it in your arms like this, like you're just shrugging, right? So relax your shoulders. You're gonna go here. And you're trying to push those shoulder blades apart and lift your chest up. For now, if that's how you have to do it, go get into the position where it looks like it's supposed to be and just keep doing that until you keep connecting with your lats. So what you have to do is during the day, is just keep doing that, right? Because the more you do that, right, and you're gonna keep feeling it, you're gonna be like, okay, I went like that, and then now, okay, it's still hard, pause, but I can do that. And then it's like, all right, you go from here to here, boom. Once you get that down, now you have to learn how to hold this, okay? And you're gonna hold this, right? You're gonna be standing like this, and then you're just gonna go boom, boom. Now, the goal is this pose has to look really good, like you're not doing anything. Like you're just standing there like this. Like if I just walked up on stage and just went, that's what it's supposed to look like. You see how you're laughing, your abs come in. That's how you have to flex your abs. So in general, you just have to learn how to flex the different muscles that you have. And just every once in a while when no one else was looking, I mean ideally when no one else is looking, I'll just go.
More than me.
Yeah, that's actually really big. Yeah, so there's not like a ton left. Like, yeah. So you just gotta learn how to, well, one, you're gonna get a little bit leaner. Two, you're gonna have to learn how to control your abs. That would hurt.